So when we're looking at a scope, there's two things that are immediately obvious: the main tube and that big old lens at the front of the optic. First, the main tube. The most common sizes are a 1" and a 30mm, and as we see the industry changes, we're going to start seeing a lot more 34mm and get into bigger, like let's say a 35mm. Now, a large tube is inherently stronger and more rigid, but its main advantage is providing more internal room for the erector system to move. This translates directly into more internal elevation and windage adjustments, which is really what we want if we're going to start shooting out to longer distances. For instance, in extreme long-range shooting where you need to dial for a significant bullet drop, a 34mm tube is almost necessary. For a standard hunting rifle, a 1" and a 30mm offers plenty of adjustment. Now for the objective lens, the number that lives after, let's say like the 3 to 9 by 40, we're talking about the X40, the by 40 part, right? The 40 in the diameter of the objective lens is in millimeters. There's a persistent myth that the bigger objective lens automatically means brighter image. That's only partially true. The light transmission is primarily determined by the glass quality and the lens coating, not just the size. So a premium 42mm objective can easily outperform the 56mm cheaper objective. Now, a larger diameter objective can, in most instances, gather in more light, which is going to really help us at those early dawn hours or those late dusk hours when we're out in the field and we just need to bring in a lot more light so we can hunt just a little bit longer. But it does come with a trade-off. Typically, we're going to get into a heavier optic as well as more expensive, and it requires you to mount the scope a little higher on the rifle. Now, this can start to have a negative effect with our cheek weld and our shooting form. So you may be asking yourself, I'm just looking for hunting. What objective size do I need? Pretty much, we're going to be looking at a 40mm to a 44mm, and those seem to be a fantastic all-around choice. They're going to provide great light balance, also a pretty practical mounting height. All right, so let's say you're looking at shooting competitively, or you want to go out west and get that prize muley or elk that you've been dreaming about for a long time. You may want or need a little bit more low light performance, and that's where something like a 56mm objective lens is going to come into play. So now that we know about the tube size in the objective lens, what is the right reticle for you to run for that hunting situation?